February 1864. The rear yard of the Van Lowe mansion. The stage is empty. Josiah opens the door and calls out.
Miss Elsie? You out here? Miss Elsie! Where that child going to now?
He shuts the door. Elsie skulks into the yard.
It's all clear. Sir, I promise you, it's safe. Just wait here.
Miss Elsie, that you? Where you been?
Over to Libby, of course, just as Aunt Bet was talking about. And I led him here.
What you mean?
He came with me. We made it safely.
Is this the home of Miss Van Loo?
Why?
My name is Colonel Abel Streight. I was directed to come here immediately after escape.
Directed by who, sir?
I am not at liberty to reveal that. I was told Miss Van Loo could aid our men.
There are more of you?
Over 100.
They ain't all coming here, I hope.
Of course not. We've all got our instructions. Many places to go.
Good, because I can't let you come in.
But why not?
Miss Elsie, you go on in the house now.
I won't. Why can't we help him?
I ain't been directed to. I'm sorry, sir. You got to find somewhere else.
Josiah, wait. Where is Aunt Bet?
She been called away. I'm sorry, sir. I can't let you in without Miss Bet says it's okay.
But I know. I'll go and ask Grandmother.
She went to bed early with one of them sick headaches. Don't you bother her none.
Then can't he just hide here, out in the gardens, just until Aunt Bet comes?
It's awful cold, and I ain't got no notion how long she gonna be.
I've been cooped up so long it feels like heaven. Waiting out here is better than being caught. I'll wager they'll hang any man they can find.
I won't take that bet. Suit yourself then.
Thank you.
Miss Elsie, you come on inside. You gonna catch your death of cold.
I'll bring you something hot to drink and a blanket. Josiah, can we find him a blanket?
Of course, Miss Elsie.
I'm sorry you can't come in yet. I promised to hurry back.
Stars. So many stars. Good thing the moon isn't full. Oof. And a fresh breeze.
Who's there? I know I heard voices. Show yourself. This is my home. If you will not come out, I can be of no help to you.
Miss Van Loo, Colonel Abel Streight, at your service.
Colonel, then you got out, thank the Lord. How many?
Over 100.
Oh, the largest escape yet, how wonderful.
Your daughter led me here. I am most grateful.
Elsie is my niece.
Oh, begging your pardon.
Oh, she may as well be my daughter. She's certainly the closest I will ever have. But why are you out here?
Your slave said he could not let me in without your instructions.
We have no slaves in this house. Josiah is one of our servants.
Begging your pardon again.
Natural mistakes, both. So, Colonel, Josiah was correct that we cannot harbor you here.
But then...
That had been the plan. I regret I was absent when Elsie brought you here, but rest assured she did so at my direction. I was, of course, apprised of the escape plan, but I was needed elsewhere. My own brother John has gone into hiding this very night. He has been drafted and he must get safely to Union lines. I will plead his case with General Winder, but we fear it will not end well.
Nor for me, not if I cannot find myself safe passage.
I regret that this house is not the safe haven we once thought it to be. My home is under close surveillance by the Confederacy. I can, however, bring you to a Mrs. Lucy Rice. She has had much contact with inmates at Libby in the past. Perhaps your paths have crossed?
Mrs. Rice is well thought of, but I have not had the pleasure.
Nor have I. She is not in good health, I fear, and has little to spare. But she does have ample space, and I will be able to provide for your needs. Along with you, she will house 3 more.
She is a brave woman, as are you.
I speak of your bravery in return, Colonel. I hear there is particular enmity towards you because of your time commanding a black regiment.
I've heard that as well. It is inaccurate. Although I assure you I would have no objection.
You seem in good condition.
Relatively, I suppose. But I fear for the men who were unable to escape. Some may not survive this winter. And there's a rumor that the Confederates plan to transfer them further south.
No mere rumor, Colonel. I have heard of plans to evacuate not just Libby, but all of the prisons in Richmond. Perhaps to move everyone as far south as Georgia.
Then God help us all.
You can keep a confidence.
I can, Miss Van Loo, or I would not be standing here.
I have alerted General Butler to the Confederate plan. General Kilpatrick and Colonel Dahlgren will soon advance on the city. My scouts tell me they are to take action by the end of the month.
Kilpatrick and Dahlgren, indeed. To what end?
The plan is to free all Union prisoners in Richmond before the evacuation can be achieved.
Incredible. Kilpatrick and Dahlgren.
Ambitious, yes, but quite credible. These are intelligent, brave men with resources behind them.
God be with them for the sake of every one of those men.
Better they have weapons and manpower than prayer.
Better they would have both.
They succeed. It will strike a harsh blow to the Confederates.
Tell me, Miss Van Loo, what drives you to take such risks? It would be so much easier for you to sit in your beautiful home and give to charities, do some volunteer nursing like other ladies.
I am driven by my conscience, Colonel. I could never sit idly by when I am needed. And on the subject of risk, every minute you remain in my garden increases the likelihood of your capture.
Miss Bet, Miss Elsie said we need to bring these out right quick.
Oh, did she? Like aunt, like niece.
We brought you some clothes.
Well done, Elsie. Colonel, warm yourself and change, and I will see you safely to Mrs. Rice's. Josiah, please bring the carriage around. Make certain the curtains are drawn.
Yes, Miss Bet.
I am much obliged to you all.
Aunt Bet, how is Papa faring?
He's safely hidden for now, dear Elsie. I'll go and speak with General Winder in the morning. We will explain that he was drafted in error, that he's in poor condition to be a soldier. If I can convince the general of this, John need not go north, for the time being at least.
Papa can't go and fight. He can't.
Miss Elsie, I'm sure your aunt will find a way to help your father.
I'll be back shortly.
I will be ready, Miss Bet.
Lights fade. End scene. March 1864. The back room of Ernest's restaurant in the Newmarket section of Richmond. John and Ernest are seated at a table that is ceasing.
How can this be? Nobody knows where Dahlgren has been buried? Top secret, or so they claim. Even Lipscomb will not utter a word. As the rebel official responsible for all the federal burials, you know he knows something. He simply refuses to get involved, as usual.
I saw them desecrate Dahlgren's body with my own eyes, sister. When they brought the coffin to the train station, people spit on him, threw rocks at the coffin. Someone even stole his wooden leg. And then the coffin disappeared.
His leg was cut off?
Yeah, he lost it below the knee. Gettysburg.
And the newspapers, they're filled with lies. They say he was part of a plot to assassinate Davis, kidnap his cabinet. They claim to have found these orders on Dahlgren's body. That's why there is such hate. They call him a cold-blooded murderer. Ulrich the Hun, they say.
So I hear. Mark me, it is plain to see they were forged and planted on the poor man.
Of course, but anything will start to sound true if it is repeated often enough.
And once someone gets an idea in their head, it's just about impossible to shake it loose.
If only Butler had not proceeded with this endeavor, the poor man might still be alive.
You did as you were asked. You must not continue to blame yourself for what cannot be helped.
It was the letter William and I wrote that sparked this whole chain of events. The general initiated this raid because of what we wrote. There are times I can think of nothing else.
I know, Beth. I know.
And I just can't help thinking it may have been a mistake to accept the general's request for help. Perhaps Mother and I should have just continued on as we were.
Miss Bet, regardless of whether or not your letter spurred the general to action, it was Dahlgren himself who chose to be a part of the raid.
And after all, there was no guarantee of success. In a war, there will always be someone who falls. That doesn't mean your actions are all for naught.
I suppose. But somehow, we absolutely must discover the hidden grave. At the very least, we are honor-bound to protect the poor man from further abuse.
We must, yes. But we have no idea where the Confederates have buried him now. Without Lipscomb, I fail to see how we will ever find that out.
I have had contact from someone who may be of help. Just wait.
Wait, for who?
Miss Bet, Josiah told me I'd find you here.
Mary Jane?
Is this him?
This is Abraham. His owner loaned him out to work at Oakwood Cemetery.
Miss Richards believes that he may be of help to us.
Go on. Tell him what you know.
Why you think I know anything?
Young man, I promise this is not a trap.
Maybe it ain't your trap, but it's a trap all the same. I can't. They'll know I was the one to talk. They're gonna hang me if they find out.
We are trying to give some comfort to a grieving father. If it happened to your child, surely you would want to be able to give him a proper burial.
Ain't got no kin. My mom been sold in the deep south. Don't even remember her face.
Abraham, you agreed to come.
I'm here, ain't I?
You are. So go on and tell them.
We'll make it worth your while.
Sit, please.
Can't sit with no white lady.
Oh, I needn't sit.
I give you my vow. Nobody will breathe a word.
It was late. Must have been close to midnight. I was working late that night, so I guess I fell asleep. I woke up and heard talking. Ain't nobody supposed to be there that late, so I done hid behind a big tree. Didn't want no trouble.
Please go on. You hid behind the tree.
Yes, I seen 3 men coming carrying a coffin. They dug a hole. I didn't know why they was having such a secret funeral. But they wasn't quiet. Not at all. They was laughing, talking real loud. They was joking about how the Yankees ain't never gonna know where the body went. I ain't got no idea what they was talking about, but it sounded important. Dangerous too. So I kept still. They digged a hole real shallow. They was lazy about it, or maybe didn't know how to do it proper. Before they put him in, they opened up the coffin. Couldn't see nothing on the body, but one of them was trying to get something off it. He said, "It's good and stuck." Another one, he says, "Don't waste your time. Just cut it off."
I beg your pardon, ladies. Perhaps you had better not remain for this.
I'm not going anywhere.
John, honestly. Abraham, were you able to see what he did?
Cut off a finger. There was a ring on it.
Oh, dear God.
He said, "Now that's done. Let's finish this off." They closed up the box, put it in the pit, and covered it up. They said maybe they was gonna walk round as long as they was there. I thought sure they'd find me, but seems they got spooks and they left quick. I waited to make sure they was gone. Something told me I should keep track of this, so I put a marker over the grave.
So you can show us where it is.
I can tell you where it's at.
We need to be sure. I give you my word, you'll be safe.
Ain't nobody can give their word on that. We all knows that.
We have a handsome sum to offer.
No amount of money ain't no use to a dead man. How much?
$1,500.
Abraham, we're counting on you. You're the only one that can help us. Your own father would have wanted you to do it.
Don't you talk none about him, Mary Jane. I can do one thing. You meet me there by the gate at midnight in 3 days. I got to work that night anyhow, so it don't look strange. I'll walk by the place and I'll drop a stone on that plot. Then use on your own, sirs. You can mark the place any ways you want, and ain't nobody coming to see.
I'll count the paces as well, in case our marker is moved.
So you leave my pay in the tree by the grave when you go, and I'll circle around before I leave off.
Half that night, half when we come back. We can't take the body till we make plans, and we need to make sure it's really him.
How you gonna do that?
We will have to check his hand and his leg. There is no other way.
Dear God.
So when you coming back to get him?
Bet.
2 days after you show us?
Us? You're not setting foot in Oakwood, Bet. It's far too dangerous.
Nonsense.
Miss Bet, for once I have to agree with Mr. John.
For once?
Indeed. Most of the time, Mr. John, you're overly cautious. But surely a woman in the cemetery late at night would raise even more suspicion. In fact, you would both do well to stay out of this.
Mary Jane has a good point, John. If you were to be seen, you'd find yourself in a gray uniform in the blink of an eye. You would best remain in hiding until we can get you across the border.
But this is not a one-man task.
It would be fine for me to get my brother. His name is also John.
Oh, very well. So when you come back, how will it be done?
2 nights after, I can get a friend to help. We both on that night. We on most nights. Ain't nobody else want to be there so late.
Then we have a plan.
Yes, sir. We has a plan.
Thank you, Mary, for bringing him. Thank you, Abraham. You are doing God's work.
Ain't no God in none of this no-how, ma'am. May as well do something to help someone. And that sure is a handsome sum. 3 nights then.
3 nights.
He offers his hand. After a pause, Abraham shakes it. He slips out.
Mary Jane, you are a wonder. However did you find him?
You have your sources, Miss Bet, and I have mine. Best not to ask too many questions.
Lights fade and scene.
I can't believe I'm oozing. I can't believe I'm going commando.
It was in the book.
Yeah, but I didn't think it would happen to me. Where's your father?
I sent him to the grocery store and then I told him to go visit Lenny.
Good idea. Oh, he's driving me crazy. Did you give him a list? Because if you didn't, he'll come back with onion chips and 3 bags of 3 onion dip and 3 bags of chips.
I explicitly told him no more snacks. What do you want for lunch?
Oh, I'm not hungry.
Remember what the doctor said? People who eat live.
Okay. A peanut butter sandwich.
That doesn't sound very nutritious.
It's what I want. Creamy peanut butter.
How about a nice big salad? I picked up a bunch of kale at the farmer's market.
Makes me want to barf.
Okay, then how about the soup that's left over from last night?
The reason there's soup left over from last night is because I didn't like it then.
Fine.
Split pea? Really? It looks like barf.
Fine, I will just throw it out then.
Well, good. Your daddy didn't like it either. And I don't even think the dog would eat it.
You're being difficult.
Well, I'm sick. It can be difficult if I like. I'll go make my own peanut butter sandwich.
No, I'll make it.
Don't use the whole wheat bread.
Don't try and slip in anything nourishing.
I don't think a lot of fiber would be good right now.
Oh, Mama, I'm sorry. I didn't even think about that.
I hate to be graphic, but pooping is becoming very difficult now. It's like pooping acid-covered rocks. And the toilet paper feels like sandpaper. I'm just kind of starting to dread even going to the bathroom.
I never imagined in my wildest dreams my mother would be talking to me about her bowel habits.
Well, get used to it. And it was in the book. Limit your fiber intake.
I must have missed that chapter.
I figured you didn't read it completely. That was your problem in high school. You just skimmed. That's why you weren't a straight A student.
Mother, my high school failings are no direction to take this conversation in. Do you want raspberry or plum jam?
Neither. Raspberry has seeds and they're both red. Avoid red foods and foods with seeds in it. It's in the book.
Fine, then apple butter on white.
Good.
But I'm not hungry.
But I'm not hungry.
Well, eat what you can, and after I get done making your sandwich, I guess I'll just reread the book.
I can't believe it's been 6 weeks since she started treatment. How's she doing today? Did Father John come and anoint her?
Not doing good. He made the sign of the cross on her forehead and she started crying. Then she said she guessed she's just ready to die.
Mom doesn't cry. Mom doesn't talk like that.
She does cry, son. She just doesn't do it where you guys can see her.
When I tried to go and check in on her, she told me not to come in the room. She had the TV and the lights off. She was just lying there in the dark.
You think she's depressed?
Of course she's depressed. Who wouldn't be depressed?
This wasn't even supposed to be a bad cancer.
There's no such thing as a good cancer. They're all bad cancers.
Dad's just saying some are worse than others, like bone cancer or brain cancer.
Are you guys talking about me?
What are you doing up? You're supposed to be lying down.
I'm tired of resting. My butt hurts. Didn't I just hear you say I must be depressed because I'm lying in the dark?
We're just worried about you.
My butt hurts and I'm really tired, but I'll be fine.
You don't need to be strong for us.
I'm not pretending to be strong. I am strong.
She is strong, son. She's the strongest person I know.
Thanks, I guess.
Can we get you anything to eat?
You're always trying to feed me.
Just like you always used to try and feed us.
And I will again after this is done.
Good positive attitude.
Yeah.
You know what Dr. Grimm said about your mother? He said her treatment is going so good because of her good positive attitude, her good humor, and her strong support system.
Yeah, every time I start to feel like I'm gonna throw up, I just pop a gummy. Take a deep breath and chill. That's good attitude.
How many gummies are you using a day?
Oh, like 1 or 2.
3 or 4.
Well, then you're going to need a good many more.
Is that going to be a problem, son?
I hope not, Dad. I'll call my source later today.
Well, son, as my dealer, I'm counting on you.
Is she becoming addicted?
That's ridiculous. I don't even have an addictive personality.
You know, marijuana is the gateway drug.
Well, if I was going to be addicted to something, it'd be that Oxycontin they gave me. They gave me 60 pills and I only take 1 a day.
60? That's ridiculous.
Are you saying I'm not in pain?
I mean, of course you're in some pain, but would Advil do just as well? You know, there is an opioid epidemic. You don't want to be the latest victim.
Some pain? Advil?
I don't think she meant that the way I don't think she meant that the way it sounded.
I've been popping Advil like it's M&M's. It's obvious that you don't know what you're talking about.
Where are you going?
I'm going to show her. She needs to see. To the bathroom.
I don't think I want to see.
Oh, You might not want to see, but you're going to.
I'm sure glad she didn't want to show me.
Oh, son, you'd be very glad. I've seen it. It's like a horror story.